friends, welcome to Creating with Jovi. Check out my beautiful paper doll, isn't she gorgeous? So this is an open collaboration that I'm hosting along with Jen at Sassy Southern NC Girl, and this is the Paper Dolls collab. So if you want some freebies, she's one of the freebies. If you would like some freebies, go to my Facebook group and you can grab them. That's Creating with Jovi, Journals and Crafts. And if you'd like the kit to get even more of them, that is available in my Etsy shop. And you can grab that as well if you'd like to. I hope you can participate with us. It'd be a lot of fun. I wanted to let you know there's going to be some other collaborators involved in this collaboration, but they're going to be just putting their videos out whenever they want. Like I said, it's an open collab, and they're just going to do their videos whenever they want. And that's how that's going to roll. All right, well, hang tight. I'll show you how I made this shaker card. Today, my friends, I am going to go ahead and make a shaker card. And if you want to play along and make one, I'm going to let you know everything that you're going to need. I have my actual greeting card. Now, you could do this on a tag as well. It doesn't have to be on a card. Also, just so that you know, I've done them straight in my journals and made a whole journal page a shaker page. So that's possible too. You'll need some little bits that actually shake around. So I have some in a Halloween theme. So we are going to use a Halloween theme today. Now, also, this is my beautiful paper doll that I'm going to use as part of the shaker. And so I decided what I would do was grab this paper here. That's our background, right? And this is our doll. And doesn't she look gorgeous with it? I think she does. And then for our shaky parts, this has orange and white with like an iridescent. So I think I'm definitely using those. And then I'll probably pop in some of these because they're little tiny, tiny pieces. And then I have some clear, like pretend diamonds. They are orange. There's clear, orange, and purple. I might throw a few of those in there. And then I have these, which have some purple and iridescent. So I think I'll do like a little combination of things and just make a super fun shaker card. So the first thing we have to do is, if you've got the paper dolls, and this one is one of the freebies in my Facebook group, and that is called Creating with Jovi, Journals and Crafts, and you can grab the paper dolls and the backgrounds. They're all there in the Facebook group. So you can do that. And then you're also going to need your background paper, and I'm going to go ahead and take mine and cut it to size. So I'm putting it inside of my envelope, and I'm going to mark it. And I'll cut it just a little bit, well, I'll cut it on the inside of the marks to make sure that the paper doesn't hang over the card. And we'll test it before we put glue on it. I have this turquoise ink, and I'm going to grab that and just go around the edges. This ink is called, well, it's Stampabilities, and it's called Teal, and I think that is going to be perfect right around the edges of this card. Now I'm going to add my glue to my paper, and we're going to get this glued down into place. I hope you guys have been following along with the collaboration. Jennifer and I have done one video each week in October for our paper dolls, and then I have also been featuring the paper dolls in the collaboration I'm doing with Cindy A. Lewis, which is called 100 Days of Pockets. And so for October, I have been using a lot of my paper dolls in that collaboration as well. All right, we got that on. I think that looks great. The ink around the edges is perfection. Next, we need our foam tape, and I want to let you know this is the Scotch brand of tape. It does pop up. You can see that it's thick. Hopefully you can, let me see, hopefully you can see that. You just kind of see how thick that is. So that's what gives you the space. We're going to go around our card with our foam dot, and actually I'm going to cut this. I feel like I'm all thumbs right now. Here's what I'm gonna do. All right, let's be smart about it, guys. I'm gonna measure it right like that, and I'm gonna cut it. Okay, and then so I don't have to deal with it, I'm gonna go ahead and put it down on the card. Gonna get it as close to the edge as I can. And I feel like there's a little corner hanging off here. I can just flip that over so I can see it and then just cut that away. No problem there, okay? So let's do the same thing over here. We're just gonna unroll it like that, and we're gonna measure it. And I'm gonna cut it right there. And I'll put this down right here as close to the edge as we can, just like before. Now we're going to do the same thing here, but we're going to measure in between the two pieces of tape. Let's see if we can squeeze it right in there. That worked out great. And now one more time. All right, that's what gives us our pop-up. Now before we move ahead, I'm going to go grab my acetate. All right, I've got it. This kind is called Duralar, just so you guys know, that's what I use. And now, before we do anything, before I take off the tape or anything like that, I need to decide exactly what I'm doing. And so I'm wondering, do I glue her down on the inside of the shaker, or do I put the shaker bits in and then glue her on the outside of the shaker? And it's hard to know what the right thing is. I'm going to think about this. Okay, I think I've come up with an idea. Well, we're going to play for just a second so we can truly decide. So I have these sparkly leaves. These could go inside or outside, so we can keep that in mind. I have this big pumpkin, but that's just too big. And let's see, I've got this, oh gosh, is that ever cute? That could go on the outside as well. And then I have these leaves, and I didn't know if I wanted this, like just as a decoration underneath the little shaky bits. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. Let's play like she's on the outside. We're just pretending here. The leaf is a little bit big. Let me try one of these smaller leaves real quick. Okay, so this is a thought. She's on the inside. The shaky bits are also on the inside, and then the leaves are clustered right here on the outside, and then some trim, because remember, we have to decorate the mylar once that goes on with some trim to cover the tape and all of that. So I think that's looking pretty good. It keeps it fun, but also elegant at the same time. So let's do that. I think I've decided that she's going to go on the inside. And so I'm going to grab my glue, which is right here. All right, I think I'm just gonna center her, you know? I'm not gonna have her to one side or the other. I'm just gonna put her right there in the center so that she can be the center of attention. Now, before we get the shaker bits out and pull this off, we're gonna go ahead and measure this out while everything is easy to work with, and I'm going to mark this so that I know where to cut it. And I'm just going to grab a marker here. I guess it doesn't really matter what color. I'm lining this up on here. Alright, I'm going to cut it here. Hopefully my mark is showing. I can't tell. Yeah, that's showing. Okay. Do that up there, and then up here it's going to be right here. Okay. All right, we have this cut to size. It fits real nice. So now I am going to go ahead and go for the next step, which is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and add the shaker bits first. I want to make sure she's glued down completely so they don't get caught underneath her. I think she's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some of these. And I wanted to add some of these. And then some of these cute pumpkins and ghosts. And I think that's going to be plenty. You don't want to have too much in there so that it covers everything. I mean, most of it's going to settle near the bottom anyway, but still, don't want to have too much. All right, now I am going to scooch this in and I am going to peel away the tape. Now, once the tape is peeled away, we will go ahead and add the Mylar or Duralar, which is basically acetate. Now, if you don't have that, you can use a clear packaging, you know, from like a sticker pack or something like that. All right, this is ready for the Mylar. I hope I have enough in here. All right, now where did my perfectly sized Mylar go? Here it is. Okay. And here we go. This is something that you want to try to get right the first time if you can, because I don't want to have to peel it off of this double stick tape. I can promise you that. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And we're pressing that down onto the tape. Now I'm going to shake it around a little bit, see how everything shakes. I think it's looking really good. Of course, we have to decorate it, but everything's shaking really nicely. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Super good. Okay. All right, now it's time to decorate all of the edges. All right, my friends. Now, I know there's a little glare on that part, but that's okay. I think you can see the edges good enough for me to continue on. I am going to use double stick tape on this part that is white, okay? Because remember, now we've got this Mylar, Duralar, whatever you want to call it, and not everything long-term sticks to that. So I am going to use double stick tape. It fits perfectly over it. We are pretty much guaranteed that the tape is going to work just fine. And it'll hold down whatever. Now I'm thinking of, I'm measuring, sorry guys, I'm thinking of actually using washi tape around the edges. I could use some trim, but I was just thinking washi tape. I got the double stick tape down, and now I've got the washi tape. Now, I don't trust washi, and that's why I wanted to make sure I put double stick tape down. All right, if we go, oh yeah, I think that's gonna work out great. It's pretty cute. So I'm gonna put this down. I can always layer this with something else if I want to, but we're just gonna start with this. Keep it simple. I wanted to make sure that I could see this properly. That's why I flipped it over. I think the width is just perfect. I want to mention to you guys that my friend Lori of Enchanted Dream 71, she has a collab. It's an open collab, and it's called Crazy Washi Wednesday. She does it every Wednesday. So if you need to be inspired to use your washi tape, then you could always check that out if you wanted to. All right, now, this is looking so cute. I love it. I'm gonna flip it over, and I'm just gonna trim off, let's see, let me start up here. I'm gonna trim off the edges. Now, my friends, I was thinking about adding a layer of bats. You can still see the ghosts, but the bats add just a nice extra layer, and I just think that's fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna cut these to size. All right, I have chosen to use Fabri-Tac on here to adhere the trim. I was thinking about it, and I probably also could have used the gem tack, but I just went ahead and went with Fabri-Tac, and I think it should adhere everything to the washi. You know, washi is non-porous. It's a pretty slick surface, so I think it's probably good to use something that we feel fairly confident that's gonna, you know, help it stick to it. All right, this is coming together nicely. What do you guys think? I'm liking it. Now I'm thinking we should go ahead and choose the leaves that we want to put on. Let's put them on and make sure that we still want to use them. I think so. So we've got a couple of different shades and variations and whatnot, but I think those look better than the one with the orange, so we're going to leave that one out. I checked my stash and I actually have a ghost and a bat, and so maybe we add those in with the leaves. I don't know. Let's try a couple things out real quick. All right, my friends. I went back to the cluster of 3 leaves. I like that, but I am going to add this little bat up here in the corner. I think it's a nice little touch that we can add to it. So let's start off by, we're going to remove the sticker backing, but I am also going to add some glue to it. Some hot glue, I'm thinking. Unless I'm afraid that the hot glue is going to mess up the Mylar and melt it. You know it could. So let's add some of this. Don't need a lot, just enough to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Make sure the bat's not going to fly away. There we go. Okay. All right, we got that. It's pretty cute. And what do we have here? Okay, so these have just these little dots. And I'm definitely going to be adding some glue to this. Well, here it is, my friends. What do you think? I love it. I think it's so pretty. It's busy, but it's pretty, and I really like it. Very pleased with how it turned out. I hope you like it too. Please be sure to check out Jen's channel, Sassy Southern NC Girl. See what she came up with today. It was Crafter's Choice today. So we were allowed to do anything we wanted. And it had been a really long time since I had made a shaker. So that's why I chose to do that. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. All right, my friends, thanks for watching. See you soon.